Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel. And Crusader Kings 3 here with the Angevin, and in fact, the first full episode with this gentleman here, Duke Geoffrey of Berry of House d'Anjou. And we begin with a rather long journey from north central, or let's call it northwestern France, all the way down to far southern France on the border with Barcelona, as Geoffrey is embarking on his first hunt that he got invited on. A regency is now happening, and his son, our son, Fulk d'Anjou, is now the regent. My acquaintance, Count Rogier, is hosting a hunt in Foix, and time for us has come for us to depart. That is misreading. I should be able to proudly represent the House d'Anjou. Hunting with birds is a most noble pursuit, one I am sure to excel at. I can't wait. Thank you also for everyone that's been liking and commenting on these, on the whole series in general, but specifically also this last one, where a lot happened, where we said goodbye to Duke Fulk the Quarrelsome and welcome his son Geoffrey in as the new head of the duchy. Call to war. My dear brother, I call on you to honor our alliance and join me in a war for Count Eudes' claim on the Duke of Champagne. So it is Duke Eudes of Provence and Countess Giselle of Rethel, and of course, going to come to the aid of our brother. We have joined the war. War waits for no man. The blaring of the war horns have reached me here in Foix. In Foix Hunt. I have been summoned to aid in the war between Count Eudes and Duke Julien. I can manage things from here. This war requires my full attention. Sorry, we'll not be going hunting. Instead, we're going to raise our troops and aid our brother. And just as a side note here, I did double check, and it is pronounced Angers, so we'll stick with that. Arrival. All right, I got home. Didn't really go many places here. A secret is exposed. My regency ended. Okay. Du Fulk d'Anjou gained 150. Mayor Clotaire of Mel has accused my vassal Countess Eva of having had an extramarital affair with her lover Robert. How could she defile the sanctity of her marriage? This crime cannot go unpunished. These accusations are naught but malice and lies. I do not believe him. Okay, so I am taking over, and we will be heading north. Let's take a look here with our host. We'll just go all the way over here through our territory and that of France. And question is, will we be able to get there in time to really help him? Obviously not in the battle that Julien is about to lose, but we can get there and take care of his enemy for him. Big brother is coming to help out little brother. We're going to move in. Everything is in our advantage, or everything. More soldiers and more men at arms. But dear brother, I call you to our alliance to join me in the Liberty War. Enemy is Count of Saint. Okay. Accept. So Julien apparently is just all about war right now. So Saint's down there. Task is finished. Prowl through the documents. And County of Onis. No, I cannot. In fact, I need to change what he's doing. We're just going to... Religious relations. We're going to focus on that right now. Not going to worry about claims. But we are going to take on this rebellious host. Okay, me in the war for Plaisance claim on the Duchy of Champagne. We're going to accept that one. Looks like our brother is dealing with a lot of rebel forces. A lot of uprisings. God, they're defending on a river crossing. So no, we're going to stay here. And just wait real quick. Head over this way and support him. We're not going to get there in time. Ooh, that's a large force. If we can beat them one at a time, we'll probably win. I mean, they're defending across a river crossing. Odds are in their favor. We got to take care of them, and then we got to head south. Take care of our Guillaume de Mont, Maine Raymond de Morville. Thomas wounded Geoffrey de Joinville. Okay, now let's head down south. Take care of these guys. We have some knights that have arrived. So look at that real quickly. Ah, Aymar. Recruit him to court. How much is the cost? 65 gold. Yeah, we can do that. And we'll go all the way down here and forbid Fulk, our heir, from being part of our knightly entourage. We'll head down south now and hopefully take care of these guys. Can I get them before they leave? No. Familiar reflection. I remember the day when my first child, Fulk, a beautiful boy, was born, my serene son. Memories like these bring me comfort. No matter what happens, I know that my family is there for me, that House d'Anjou stands strong. By bravery and goodness, I whisper under my breath. I will treasure the thought. Lose 6 stress. Okay. Can we catch them before they get across the river? We cannot. We're just going to besiege them here. We've got a small force to the south. Could call in... bring in any more money. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Invalidated. The War of Plaisance, claim on Duchy of Champagne has ended. It is no longer valid to continue. So be it. So that is done. And now we're going to go down here and take these guys on in Reims. Can we catch them? I don't really want... Ah, we get some of them. We catch some of them before they cross. Count Thibault is not swayed. We won that one. And now I want to get in there and catch them here. Can we get them before they leave? Retel? No. Head back to Vermandois. They're defending in a force. They have more commander traits, but we have the larger host. And we do get them in the Battle of Vermandois. And Geoffrey is wounded. He's going to win the next battle, though. And that will go in our favor. Count Ude's son has been captured. Okay, so now it's time to head south here and take on those guys. They might combine forces, maybe not. I'm not too concerned. They're gonna seek battle here. Can we catch them before? It's defending across a river crossing, but we have such an overwhelmingly strong force that I'm not overly concerned about this. I want to destroy them. Knock them off the field. That was very important. Now let's head back north here. Count Raymond Rogier has been excommunicated. Greetings, my benign liege. I have been hosting your Chancellor Renaud for several weeks, and he has helped me truly see the splendor of the realm under which you rule. I am nothing less than honored to serve as your vassal, Barthélemy. Excellent. I'm going to try to catch them before they leave, and that's not going to happen. Let's see, where are these guys heading? We're just trying to head these armies off as best we can. And catch them. We've got a new martial perk, which is Gallant. So we've unlocked the trait Gallant, and which gives +2 martial, +4 prowess, +20% monthly prestige gain, +20 attraction opinion, acolyte glory gain, +20% romance scheme power, +30%. That is very good. These are some very pesky rebels that we're dealing with here. I don't want to go into a siege. I want to simply destroy these armies. And they're defending in a forest, but we have an overwhelming force. Poitiers is under siege. We've got all of those guys down there. God, we've got to head back south then. So they are captured. This is annoying me now. Got some battles down here. Okay, looks like that's being taken care of. And I am just keeping an eye out here. All right, we're going to head up north. Take on that battle. Count Thibault has been swayed. Still doesn't quite trust or like us that much. Really want to get these guys. Will win decisively if died. Duke Geoffrey of Berry has given up the ghost at 43 years of age. He died from his wounds. A zealous man, he fought for the glory of God against the heathens in one of the greatest holy wars of recent history. Of course, he was part of the Baltic Crusade. Duke Fulk ascends to the throne. Being an ambitious man, many expect the realm to grow and prosper under his rule. So only for 3 years did Duke Geoffrey control the realm. Duke Fulk II at 24 is now in command of a leaderless army that's going to win this battle. Duchess Margrida is no longer your caravan. Alright, we need a new commander here. We're going to go with... God, nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. Not even a little bit. So, time to hit pause. That is crazy. We've only had... I mean, we didn't even have a full episode. I jinxed it. I said this is going to be a full episode of Joffrey. Instead, we have Duke Fulk II of Berry, who we're going to have to take a closer look at now. I haven't really focused much on him. He does have an heir. He has 2 children, Hugh of Anjou and Geoffrey of Anjou, ages 6 and 3. He is 24 years old. He is married to Duchess Margarida of Berry of House Limoges. He is a hunter, as is wont in his family. It's normal. He is a thrifty clerk. So, thrifty clerk, adequate when it comes to investments administration. So, blunders in the art of stewardship are still the norm. Okay. He is ambitious. He's gluttonous like his father was, but he is humble. So, a humble, ambitious man. That's going to be interesting to roleplay. He's not a warrior. He's very average to below average. Diplomacy, martial, intrigue, and learning are all slightly below average, and then he's average on stewardship. His claim, he has a press claim on Poitiers and an unpressed claim on Champagne. He is the Duke of Berry, and that is it. If we now zoom out, Poitiers is ruled by the younger brother, Geoffrey. Oh boy. Oh boy. And he's got a regent in Countess Eva of Lusignan. So just like that, so much has fallen to pieces. Our uncle Julien is still in control here, of course. But just like that, so much has changed. We've Grand Tour, not worried about that. He does need to look now at his council and a lifestyle. So stewardship is obviously his strength. And he's going to be, he's humble. So, and ambitious. So, war, honor, loyalty are all means to an end. Gold. So, wealth focus. My land and the people under my care are my strength. The bonds of loyalty bind us, do not constrict. They show the way. So, I would say as someone who's humble, but ambitious. I'm not going to do wealth. I'm going to go with the duty focus. So, enemy agent acceptance -5, stewardship +1, courtier and guest opinion +20. Okay, so that is the route we're going to go. So, stewardship. Now we need to look at the council. She is going to help with chivalry at court. Then we need a marshal. We're going to go with Count Barthélemy. And a spy master, Gertruda, our mother. That's someone I trust should do this. Or, I'm not going to reassign him. Guillaume, absolutely not. Our mother, I trust her to disrupt schemes. He's going to train commanders. Guillaume de Mont is still there. And we want to sway the bishop. So, just like that, things fell apart rather quickly. But now we have a duke in place in Fulk II, who will not lead any armies in the field. Poitiers is Count Raoul the Honest, claim on the county of Poitiers. It's all going down here for the House d'Anjou, but I do want to end this war as quickly as possible for our uncle. We need to get out of these wars quickly. And can we catch them? County Beaumont-de-Bailly has a claim on the county of Savoie, so he joined. We're going to catch them in battle. Here we are in the Battle of Saint-Quentin. Saint-Quentin. Count Hughes might war on Count Udès. Oh, that's right. We do have a few alliances we need to negotiate. Our uncle Julien and the Baroness. Yes, we will negotiate that alliance. We need a guardian for our son. Our mother. Yes, we need people we can trust. Father was actually pretty well liked. So, that's not to be underestimated. And we have a victory here. And so that war will come to a close. My dear nephew, I'm honored by your request. Okay, so that war is done. And now we only have one left. One more left, and that is down here in Sens. So we're going to move our army south to besiege that. And that's really all we are going to do at this point. And just get out of this war, and then need to sit down and reflect a little bit and take a look what we're going to do here strategically. That battle is going to happen. Rad de Poissy. It's not going to have a chance in that battle. And now it is time for our siege. Do have some people. You can designate a guardian for our other son. Duchess Margarita of Berry. A secret exposed. A secret truth has reached the light of day. My grandmother Emigata has copulated with my knight Luda. These accusations are naught but malice and lies. The Duchess Margarita. She will educate our child. You can pardon your grandmother. I will grant that. And so we will be done with that. Bailey constructed in Anjou. Oh, wow, that went so fast. There were a number of things we now can't do, and those are the titles that would be granted to us, or claims granted to us by the Pope, with only 52 piety, 1,300 prestige, this is okay, and less money. The holdings have just, within 2 episodes, everything that our grandfather folk had built have completely, I'm not going to say completely fallen apart, but it's definitely, yeah, not that great. I took Count Guerin's daughter in that siege, so that war is going to come to a close here very, very soon. There we go. So be it. We can disband our troops. Schemer discovered. My spy master has come to me with grave news. It is Hugo, suffragan bishop of Count Nicolau Galura, is plotting against my courtier Geberga. The abhorrent fiend. Now we're going to slow this thing down. And now we really need to kind of see where things stand. Count Raymond Rogier's hunt in Carcassonne. Yeah, we're not going to do that right now. We're going to decline that. Now is not the time. Not even a little bit, as we've just kind of seen so much fall to pieces. Accusations of witchcraft, blood-stained cloth, crow's feathers, strange-smelling concoctions. This is the evidence presented to me by a group of villagers from Vendôme as proof that Julienne has been practicing witchcraft in her hut on the outskirts of their village. Villagers claim her evil works must be the cause of their sick animals and are calling for her execution. Let's take a look at her. She is pretty, a miracle worker, adequate bargainer. That evidence is circumstantial. Release her. She must burn for her crimes against God. I wish you say I could use a new advisor. No, that wouldn't seem about right. You get upset peasants. Danger increases. Stewardship grows. She must burn for her crimes. Is he overly pious? He's ambitious, gluttonous, and humble. Given the time we are in, she must burn for her crimes, popular opinion, and gain more piety. So be it sometimes. This is a rough time in the Middle Ages. So now let's take a look at the situation in France. Hit pause real quick. So the crown's holdings have shrunk a little bit. We have Champagne, which is held by Duke Julien, our uncle. Then we have the Duke Baudouin of Auvergne. Then we have all these little counties here. Poitiers is Duke Geoffrey, our brother, where we are the primary heir to this. But, you know, this Geoffrey is not, this folk is not as devious as his grandfather, so there will be no plot to murder him. Simply will not be. Then we have Aquitaine. Wait a minute, folk, parent, Geoffrey, grandparent, there, yep. I got it right. I was confused there just for a moment. So we've got Poitiers. Again, Duke Geoffrey there. In Aquitaine, Duke David the Graceful. His primary heir is just some mayor. He's childless. Gascony is Duke Jean. So nothing particular of note there. Then we have Toulouse. Armagnac. Burgundy. Duke Henri of Burgundy, and the Auvergne and Champagne, and then Flanders to the north, Duke Reynard Arnulfsson. So that is the current situation. If we take a look at Duke Folk, he has a pressed claim on the Duchy of Poitiers and an unpressed claim on Champagne. So, of course, pressed claims get inherited, allied with Julien of Champagne and the Baroness all the way up there. So that is the current situation that we have. We have a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old son. Now, Fulk isn't necessarily the devious type to murder his way to the top. However, he is ambitious, and his brother at 8 is isolated, and I do not believe would be the proper fit for the Duchy of Poitiers. It is currently under a regency of Countess Eva of Lusignan, a bold atheist who does not like us. I do not trust this, and because of the lack of trust, I believe we must declare war against our brother, but it is more against the Lusignan Countess, for our claim of the Duchy of Poitiers. We will declare this. We will then, of course, call Julien of Champagne, our uncle, into the war, raise our armies, and march south to claim Poitiers, which should be ours anyway. Spouse, up to the task. Some of my counselors believe the job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I am often disappointed. After a long day, I'm complaining to Margarida when she interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. Chancellor Renaud could use a tutor. Renaud does like us. Getruda likes us. Bishop Ubal doesn't like us. Perhaps some advice for the spy master. The bishop could use some guidance. No, Renaud. I'm going to go with Renaud there. So again, there will be strategic focus, diplomacy, some stewardship, things like that. Granted, that was a little bit more the father, but it's going to be definitely not a martial type man. We've got a battle here. It's the forces of Champagne defeat the forces of Poitiers. And now we can focus on the siege of Poitiers. So that was 50% war score victory. So we win the siege, we win the war. A few days left here, and Poitiers will be ours. Oh, it's 85%. I thought maybe that would do it. So now we're going to head down here and support the forces of Champagne in the siege of Lusignan, which of course also has symbolic meaning, because of course that was the Ava, who was always kind of a thorn in our side. So the Duke of Flanders has invited us to a hunt. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to decline. That's a little bit far away. Need to focus now internally after this war, which will be over relatively soon. So Hugh d'Anjou's prowess increased by 2. Excellent. Come down to the final days of the siege of Lusignan. Let's see here, rampant disease in the city, and it is now ours. The bishop has increased his opinion, and we can enforce the demands, and so be it. Disbanded and once again unified the holdings of our father, at least. And we can now look at our council. Who else do we need to sway here? For sure, Count Barthélemy. Need to sway him. Start that scheme and make sure everybody on our council at least likes us somewhat. Now let's take a look up here. Is there anything else up here? Alliance negotiations. Duke Baudouin of Avignon. No. Why? His opinion isn't high. So that's maybe one to go after. And Count Geoffrey of Poitiers, well, that's our brother. Needless to say, he's not really big on us right now. We've got a few powerful vassals. Guillaume Sancerre, Thibault the Shy of Chartres, and Raoul the Honest. These the typical problem children. We can declare some wars. Count Geoffrey of Bourbon and Count Angilbert of Orléans. So Orléans would be Count Thibault's claims. That might not be bad. Good way to add that. And Bourbon would Barthélemy's claims. So we're going to take a look here at Orléans real quick. Isolated Count. Count Angilbert of Orléans. That might not be bad. Bourbon. Also very isolated. Those might not be bad ones to do. So I think we're going to look at Orléans first. So we are going to move the rally point to Blois, just so we're closer. We don't have that far to go. That will definitely be a play for futures. See if there's anything else here. The king. We've got in line to inherit still the Kingdom of Pomerania. We've got a Countess Ava as a faction created against us. So the Pomeranian holdings. Champagne, Reims, Meurthe, Rethel, Sens. Okay. Our heirs in line there as well. Blunder results. You get an unpressed claim on the county of Nantes. Well, that's an interesting one because that is, of course, next door in Brittany, where Duke Consen is still alive and kicking, who does have his unpressed claim there. Now let's take a quick look at alliance and marriage politics. So we have 2 sons, and maybe we can find a proper spouse. Let's see who could be of note here. We do have the Princess Constance of France. Other than that, not too terribly much. He's a little bit young. I think instead then we're going to look at our 5-year-old. And there we're going to betroth him to the Princess of France and send that proposal. And gain an alliance with the King of France, because then maybe we can extend outside of the realm and go to war with Brittany. Brittany is allied with just a count. They're pretty strong military, but I'm not overly concerned with that, given that we now have this alliance. A dangerous faction here. A liberty faction. We've got Raoul the Honest, Thibaut the Shy. That's an interesting one. And then we've got Countess Eva of Lusignan. What can we do here? We could revoke her title. This may incur tyranny. If we revoke the title, I mean, she will not accept it. On acceptance, domain size would, of course, grow too much. No. We're just going to keep an eye on that. He's not overly conniving. Imprison. We could imprison her. I mean, it won't succeed, and she will rise up in rebellion against us. Murder. That could be something. That could definitely be something to consider here. Raoul the Honest, who's just frustrating me. Disastrous mistreatment. As I near son Joffrey's chambers, I hear a horrifying scream, barely human and full of pain. I burst into the room, only to find Joffrey collapsed in a heap on the floor, covered in blood. The miserable physician is standing in the corner of the room, anxiously wringing his hands. This will not happen again, do you understand me? Thomas gains chastised physician for 5 years. So his learning goes up. Botched disease treatment for a year. Ooh. And he is a eunuch. Oh boy. We all knew the risk. You are forgiven. Guards, put him under lock and key. Traitor deserves to die. This will not happen again. Wow. So, we'll take a look at him. We could imprison him. Might succeed. This is an act of tyranny causing all subjects to lose opinion. So we're not going to do that. It's not in his opinion. It's not who he is. Not even a little. But that is quite an extreme turn of events. So the one we just betrothed to the Princess of France is wounded and a eunuch and ill and in bed. And then we have our one child, Hugh d'Anjou. Interesting. Interesting times here for the House d'Anjou. Petition the liege, pay homage, commander, improved. Let's take a look here at our court physician. Powerful ally and a... yeah, no, we're going to fire... going to revoke him after that for sure. And we are going to search for a new court physician. That's insane. We're going to search for a new caravan master as well. And we're not going to host a grand tournament at this time. That is all quite extreme what has all happened now. All right, court physician. Guillaume is quite experienced. Yeah, I mean, he's okay. Gassion. He is an aspiring blade master and an eager reveler. An aggressive attacker. Ooh, Oh, and he's Craven. No. Guillaume. We'll make you our court physician. We need to rebuild our money now. I mean, the treasury has really been hit hard. Caravan Master. Nicholas is a fine choice. Roubaud will do. Roubaud is a traveler. I mean, they're both travelers. He is a sadistic, impatient, and lazy. But Roubaud could be more interesting to be at our court. So 30 for that. Yeah, I think we cannot wait much longer. We need to appease some of these vassals. So if we declare war here for Count Thibault's claim in the county of Orléans, we have the prestige, so we're going to declare that war. And I am not going to call in any allies. We're just going to raise our army and then go in. Straight in here to the north to besiege Orléans directly. So he is raising his forces. So his forces are moving down south, and they are just sitting there. And we're just going to let them sit there. Less than a month now before Orléans will fall. And we have won the siege, taken a prisoner, and we are going to move south now and engage the forces of Orléans in just a few days. Barthélemy has been swayed, and it is the Count Engelbert of Orléans himself in what will be a decisive victory, and we will enforce the demands. Disband. Glory is widely known, and you have gained a favor hook on Count Thibault. You can unlock a new stewardship perk. Excellent. So we're going to take a look here. We've been going down the administrator, and I think we're going to stick to that. So likable, direct vassal opinion plus 10, liege opinion plus 20. Soon forgive. We're going to go with likable. The reason why I'm not going anywhere else, he's already picked that tree previously, and so I'm not going to adjust that for optimal play. Liberty demand to my liege. It is time to recognize the ancient and inalienable rights of your vassals. Accept the demands of the Liberty faction or face our swords on the battlefield. I will not be threatened. Rally the troops, raise all arms, and we are going to call in the Duke of Champagne in to this war. So it is time to raise of all of our troops and take on the rebel scum. You know, the one that we just gave holdings to? So we've got 2,700. Who are we going to try to take on first? And we're going to head to our capital in Angers. And we've got 2,200 here, 1,000 there, 646 there. And what I'm going to do is actually move the rally point back to our capital. So it looks like we're going to have 3,000 troops there. Are they going to move south to engage us? Hugh learned Volgar language through observation. Okay, we're going to sit here. We've got 3,400. And just going to keep an eye on this. There's another 1,900 coming up from the south. Ugh, that's not good. All right, we are going to call her in. I don't really see that she's going to be doing too much. At the same time, we need a successor here. So we're going to find a new successor, Louis. So we've got that taken care of. And it got so close, too. I mean, I thought maybe Margarita is now pregnant. Voice of reason. Another council meeting, another conflict. Bishop Ubald and Duchess Margarita are arguing violently about the religious minorities issue. As Duke, I could silence them with a single word, but I have a better idea. My diplomatic pursuits have given me insight on how to handle situations like these to please everyone. Signed with Ubald without upsetting Margarita. Yes, we will do that. Ally has joined the war. I don't really expect much from her. But we're just going to sit here. I mean, they have a huge army now. And that is a problem for us. If they cross the river here to engage, no, they're going to start the siege in Saumur. That's a smart play. That is a very smart play from them because it'd be a river crossing to get after them. Now I could head over here and start sieging down some of their forts. Forts, sorry, not forts. But some of those. This is frustrating. Vanya will not come in. Joffrey will not come in. That is all very annoying, and cash-wise, we have a huge problem. Where are we sitting here on mercenaries? We can't afford any mercenaries. This is not good. So what this will basically mean, if we look at it, it would carve us up. We would lose Orléans again, that we just gained, for the guy who's rebelling against us in this section right here as well. We would lose that as well. Do we force them into the field? We're going to move up here and take that engagement. We're going to move out. That's a large force. You know, we're going to move up here and start sieging down some of their capitals. Just force them off of our land. See if we can just simply bide some time. Not quite sure what I'm waiting for. Oh, there are the 240 from our allies up north, so that's going to be 240 more coming in. So now we are in Dreux, in Chartres, with that siege, and they are besieging Saumur in the south. This is going to be really, really difficult one to win. Margarita for a hunt? You do know what's happening here, right? Yeah, we're going to decline that for sure. I know we're abandoning our capital, but we need something to go in our favor here. Anjou is now under siege. Here come 240 allies. Where are we looking here with these sieges? Not great. Not great at all. My son, a new son. Praise Saint Brigitte. Margarita has given birth to a perfect son. I think another folk is needed in the world. So Saumur has been lost. And at some point we're just going to have to head down south here. We've got a few days left in this siege. And then we're going to have to turn south with our forces. Actually, I think we're going to go here. Sancerre. They're just sitting there right now. So we're going to see if we can draw them. How bad is the siege at home looking? Somehow I can't seem to click on that. All right. So we're gonna focus on this siege here for 8 months. And they're just sitting there in Saumur. Interesting choice. And the Champagne troop is sieging up here. We're sieging in Sancerre. They're going to be sieging Orléans. So if we can crack 2 sieges, we could really uptick that war score in our favor. And then do we head south all the way to Armagnac to help split their forces? I mean, they're going to get our capital in 9 months. We're looking at 7 months in Orléans, 6 months in Sancerre, and they are now at 5 months in Angers. Yeah, it's not looking good. That's going to tip it severely in their favor, and that 5,000-man army is just sitting in Saumur. So we'll see. This is definitely a war of attrition now. The one problem, of course, we cannot face this 5,000-strong army in the field. Barthélemy has not been swayed, okay? If we try to face them in the field, that's just going to end poorly for us. So all the sieges are coming towards a close here. I mean, if we lose Orléans, I'm not heartbroken. We lose this sliver here. It's frustrating, but your dynasty has unlocked desirable match. Okay, but I'm not overly concerned with that. We can get that back in a separate war. So we have won our siege here. I'm just gonna move up north here with the Champagnons. Now they've won our capital, and that's a problem. So now they're just gonna go besiege the next one. So you know we're just gonna go back to our capital, and maybe we have to force a battle with that army. If we can somehow get there, force them to do a river crossing. No, they're gonna get behind us in Blois, and it looks like they're going to force a battle there. Yeah, they're gonna get us in a battle here. We're probably going to lose. We will lose decisively this combat. It's not looking great. They just got their reinforcements, and that's going to sway the Battle of Anjou. And losing that will not be good for us at all. That'll change the war score significantly. And now they're just going to siege us down to gain what they want. So I'm looking at surrendering here. They all gain weak hooks on us, and is demanded, but we can't afford any further attrition financially. The war started 2 years ago. The pragmatic choice here would be simply to acquiesce. White peace won't happen. Of course, we can't enforce any demands. If we take a look at this, I mean, it is an unwinnable war. They absolutely smashed our forces. They've got 5,000 in the field. This is not a war we can win at this point, because there's also nobody else we can bring into an alliance. So the smart thing here, before we start bleeding any more money, we're going to surrender and disband our troops. So yeah, they all have favor hooks, which is frustrating. And our mother Gertrude has died. So they've gotten favor hooks, but they're not independent of us. Okay, so we haven't lost anything. They've just gotten favor hooks. That's an interesting little thing there. It was a Liberty faction. Guess I didn't read it properly. But so be it. We've got an empty council position because our mother died. So who would be the one here? Mayor Beatrice, our vassal. We'll assign her to disrupt schemes. We need county control reestablished in Poitiers. Big time. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to focus on Anjou first. I mean, it's our capital. Increase the control there. And then look at control everywhere else. So it's been rather eventful. Take a look here at our vassal relations. Count Raoul Montaigne. He is at a -17. Thibault is improved. So we are going to sway him and just start rebuilding a little bit internally here. We've got a few that are unhappy. Let's take a look at them. He would be a very good marshal. Raoul would be a very good marshal. Smiechna has died. Okay, so somebody else has arrived with a claim. Who else is the next powerful vassal? Thibault is just useless. Barthélemy is already our marshal. Count Guillaume. I mean, they're relatively useless, really. And there's no point in upsetting one to then appease the next, per se. Let's look at our council. I mean, we've got a really good chancellor in Renaud. There's no point in dropping him. Barthélemy, change him out for Raoul, who would be the better marshal. And Barthélemy would lose 20 opinion, but he still likes us. And -4, 1 seat on council. We're going to make that change. Flighty, on the return, like every noble, it is expected for me that I be able to ride a horse, but both often and well. Could hardly administer Barry if I didn't, after all. Today's errand is a trivial task in rural Anjou, something my entourage and I are best able to resolve quickly and in per something. Without warning, my steed bucks, spooked by some small animal on the trail. I'm almost thrown hard, only wresting control back in the last moment. Whoa there, girl. Calm down. That could have been close. So Spy Master Barthélemy would be, he's a powerful vassal, so we're going to assign him to that. I understand I should have just done that little switch there, but, you know, so be it. This kind of appeases some of the powerful vassals. The other ones are Thibaut the Shy and Guillaume of Sancerre. So Thibaut does kind of like us now. We're looking back at vassal opinion. They're all okay. So we're going to go to Thibaut. Sorry, to Guillaume. And we will sway him instead. So get the powerful vassals to at least not hate us. So I believe after all of that, this is a place to end today's episode, which has been extremely eventful. We saw Joffrey, Duke Joffrey, who took over in the last episode from Fulk, who had been with us for 10 episodes into the 11th episode. Joffrey lasted an episode before he passed away, and now we are with Fulk II, so another Fulk at the helm. He, you know, kind of had to reunify the lands a little bit and is kind of looking at the Duchy of Champagne if that is a direction to go. But really the next one would most likely be Bourbon, just to appease further one of our vassals. If we take a look at that here, Bourbon, that would be Barthélemy, who would like us even more. And then, of course, there is Brittany. But Brittany is a different deal altogether. We only have Julien, and it would be... I mean, they're saying they're inferior to us, but at this point, they simply are not. So we're going to keep it at that. If you did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to hit that like button. Let me know your thoughts on Fulk II and the direction he should probably take in future. As always, thank you again for likes, subscriptions, and support. Till next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.